What's up, guys? What's up? Okay, audio looks like it's good. Let's do a podcast and let's get moving. What's up, guys? It's Eric, free NBA daily bets. I'm back. It is 2025. I'm not talking about 2024. It's done with. And I'm moving on to 2025. Got 6 months of NBA basketball left to really make a dent and have a successful season, have a successful NBA year. And that's what I'm going to focus on. So, with all that said, let's jump into it. First game up, we have the Orlando Magic at the Detroit Pistons. And Jalen Suggs and Anthony Black are the only ones on the injury report for the Magic. The Suggs is probable, and Anthony Black is questionable. Now they're just off that really satisfying, not satisfying, but I mean anytime you win by like at the buzzer, essentially, like they did against Brooklyn, coming back in that game, that's a really nice win. And they've been struggling, finally losing games since since like their star players have been going out. So they've won their last homestand. They only won 3 games out of the 7. So they are struggling. They're struggling to to win, obviously. But Detroit. Let's take a look at Detroit. Their injury situation is very clean. Everyone's good to go with them. So, and then their schedule. They had a very nice road trip out west, and they just got back from that on Sunday. So they've been home for a couple of days now, and then they just got their tails whooped by Denver at Denver this past Saturday. So their next game is Friday, January 3rd, the start of a 4-game homestand. So this is supposed to be a really good Detroit spot, in my opinion. And the trends, Orlando is 18-15 against the spread, and Detroit is 16-15. So pretty close there. Over under wise, Detroit, let's see here. Detroit is 17-14 to the over. And then Orlando is 15-19 to the under. No surprise there, really. Orlando's definitely an under team. And then let's see here. How's my audio if you're in the chat? I think it sounds good. Just let me see here. Just a second, guys. Welcome in. Okay. So yeah, with that said, I can only look Detroit, and I am going to bet Detroit today. And I've liked this team. This team in good spots this year has made me a lot of money. So I am in a roll with Detroit, and hopefully, nobody was partying out late too much last night on New Year's Eve. Hopefully they were, taking care of themselves and getting ready for today. So that's the only way I can look. The over-under, see what that over-under's at. Because the game's pretty much a pick 'em. Sorry, guys. NBA. I forgot to pull up my lines page here. Let's see. Yeah, last night it was a pick 'em. Okay, there's some money on Detroit coming in. It's -2 now. No surprise there. And then total is 213. So it's coming down. And that's no surprise for a Magic game. And the Pistons like to play defense too, so there's no surprise there. All right, let's move on to the next game, guys. We've got the Chicago Bulls at the Washington Wizards. We'll keep this one pretty quick. The Wizards are bad. Everybody knows it. You can't trust them. Zach LaVine is questionable or probable. Let's see. He's questionable. He missed the last game at Charlotte. Ayo Dosunmu's still out. Jalen Smith is probable, and Dallin Terry is probable as well. So if Zach LaVine plays, they have a really pretty healthy lineup outside of Ayo Dosunmu. So like I said, they just beat Charlotte, and their next game is home Saturday, January 4th against New York. So I mean, they should win this game, guys. Washington, let's see what their injury situation is really quickly. Jordan Poole is questionable, and then Bub Carrington is questionable. And I mean, just the thing with Kyle Kuzma's back this game. I think that's why the line is just a little I don't know, I guess better for the Wizards. So Kuzma is back. Their next game is at New Orleans on Friday. They just lost 2 in a row to New York at home. So I don't know, guys. I mean, it's the Wizards. I can only look at Chicago. I'm not putting my money on the Wizards. So yeah, it's -5.5 for Chicago. That's the only way I could look. I'm not going to touch it because I don't know. It's weird. I think I need to get over this, guys. I think I just need to bet against the Wizards more often in 2025 just because I don't know. I just know if I lost, I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad at the Wizards, like freaking show up when I bet against them. So, yeah. All right, next game, guys. Next game. We've got the Brooklyn Nets at the. Let's see. Hold on. I want to see if anybody's in the chat talking. Okay. Nope. No one's in the chat talking. Okay. So, yeah, next game up, I got the Brooklyn Nets at the Toronto Raptors. Toronto played yesterday at Boston and lost by like 50 points. And nobody really played heavy minutes. And it was an afternoon game as well. So they probably got back at like 11 o'clock at night, most likely. So any chance of the Raptors partying last night for New Year's Eve or whatnot, I don't think that happened. Who knows, but I don't think so. This is the debut for D'Angelo Russell. Well, he's already been in Brooklyn Nets before, but his since the trade. So he'll be playing. So it looks like it'll be D'Angelo Russell, Ben Simmons, Cam Johnson, Noah Clowney, Nick Claxton starting. Cam Thomas is out. Zaire Williams is most likely out. Trendon Watford is out. So, and then these two teams just played. What was it like? Let me see. When did they play? They played on Thursday, December 19th, and the Nets won 101-94. They played all before that. No, that was their first meeting of the year. So, yeah, I already bet this game under 222.5 last night. Let me see what the under's at right now. Yeah, it's at 219. Yeah, and I bet under 222.5. And it's just simple, guys. The Nets play defense. The Nets play slow. The Raptors aren't scoring the ball well. And, the Nets are controlling the pace. With pretty much anybody they play with on the road, like, they control the pace. And also the Raptors, like, they should be pissed off. They've lost like 11 in a row. There should be intensity. Like, when I'm betting unders, I want some intensity. Raptors should have some intensity, and they should be fresh because no one played heavy minutes yesterday against Boston. So they should come out, really play a good game, a good defensive game. And yeah, I think that stays under by a mile again, guys. The spread is -1 to the Raptors, and I cannot back this team. I tried backing them last week, and that was a disaster. So, I mean, they're one of the few teams that are on my, like, they need to get out of their slump before I can bet them again. Like, I'm putting myself in timeout from betting the Raptors right now. I can only look the Brooklyn Nets. I do think they're the better team in general. So, yeah, I only look the Brooklyn Nets, guys. That's the only way I can look. Okay, next game up, we have the New Orleans Pelicans at the Miami Heat. And this is not a good spot for the Heat, guys. And this line was +9.5 last night for the Pelicans. Now it's down to +8.5, and I understand why. The Pelicans have lost, dang, what is this, like 12 in a row, something like that? Let me see how many games this is. Oh, no, only 10. Only 10. Yeah, right. Okay, so they've lost 10 in a row. But they have Washington. They have the Wizards on deck on Friday and Sunday. So they know that they have wins coming their way. Not to say that this is kind of like a letdown spot for them, but we know that, you know, I don't know what that does for them per se. That they know the streak's going to end soon, so maybe that's like a sigh of relief. Injury wise, they're pretty healthy. Well, considering like who's been playing, DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Evis Missy, Jordan Hawkins, Brandon Boston Jr. Like they're all healthy. They're all healthy guys. So Javonte Green's healthy. Yeah, so no issues with health. They've been off for a while, right? Let me see real quick. Yeah, they've been off since Monday. So this is their first road game in like 2 weeks, though. Miami is off that win against the Rockets, where Tyler Hero got slammed to the ground by, was it Amen Thompson or Asar? I think it's Amen who plays for the Rockets. And they've won 3 out of their last 4 games, have the Miami Heat, but they play at home against Indiana tomorrow. So that's a way more important game. Eastern Conference tiebreaker. They've already played twice this year and they split 1-1. So like that's a big game against Indiana tomorrow. Is that the last game? No, they play again. So I mean, New Orleans is a Western Conference opponent, nothing for tiebreakers. It's just a game. So I can only look New Orleans and like, gosh, I hate betting New Orleans, guys, but I think I am going to get there. Terry Rozier suspended. Jimmy Butler looks to play in this one. Duncan Robinson is questionable, I believe. Let me see here. Yeah, he's questionable. Duncan Robinson's questionable. And it's just also like the Heat, they're not like, I don't know, putting teams away, I guess. I mean, let's take a look at their schedule real quick. I'm just not impressed with their bench and just the overall team makeup. I mean, like I have been for like the last like 4 seasons. Like I just like I don't know. They don't impress me that much. Like yeah, guys, they won at 4 against Houston. They won by 1 point against Orlando. They beat Brooklyn by 15 points at home. Okay, that was a good win. But I think Brooklyn was on the second night of a back-to-back in that one. They beat Toronto by 10 at home. They beat Cleveland by 9. Dallas Cleveland was on a back-to-back. They beat Phoenix by 10. I mean, they have been winning by margin at home. They have been. But I just think the spot says New Orleans, guys. And it's at plus 8.5 right now. Let me see if that's where it's still at. Yeah, plus 8.5. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it down to plus 7. Then after plus 7, I'm not going to touch it. But I don't think it gets down that low. The total is at 220. It feels a little high. I know the Pelicans have been playing a lot of overs because they can't stop anybody. They've literally given up 116, 132, 128, 132, 104, 133, 119, 111, 121, 119 points. Like they give up 110 every game. You know, like and it's crazy. Like their roster construction right now is supposed to be a good defensive unit. Like I don't know what they're doing with Willie Green, guys. I don't know. I think I am going to bet the New Orleans Pelicans today. It's not going to be fun. Hopefully it cashes, guys, because it feels like it's the right play for sure, honestly. Okay, let's see. We got 4 games left. Let's keep it moving. We've got let me see here. Utah Jazz at the New York Knicks. Utah's pretty healthy. Let me see. Yeah, it's just John Collins that's out. Everyone else is good. And I really like Utah today a lot. And I'll tell you why right now. So they've been playing very competitive, even though they're losing a lot. They're playing very competitively. Their last game against Denver, they played them close in the first quarter, first half, I believe. But then Denver pulled away late. against Philly, they started out hot. They were up by like 20 points against them. At Portland, they lost by 2 points. At Cleveland, they were tied in the fourth quarter, I believe, at Cleveland, and they only lost by 9 in that one. At Brooklyn, they won. At Detroit, they won. And that's their last 6 games. Like, they've put together a good 6-game stretch here. And Will Hardy's not going to let them like quit on him. He's very passionate, and he, like the head coach for the Jazz, he's going to get them to play hard, guys. Now for the Knicks, this is the reason why I like the Jazz, is because the Knicks just lollygag around. Like, they know they're very, very good offensively this year, and they know they can just kind of turn it on and win whenever they want to. But them actually doing that, you know, they don't do that all the time in the first quarter, in the first half. And if you saw the last 2 games at Washington against the Wizards, they didn't cover the first quarter or the first half in both games, I'm pretty sure. And then even at Orlando, I don't think they cover the first quarter or the first half. So, you know, their next game is at Oklahoma City too. It's a bigger game than this game. You know, New Year's Day in New York City. Jalen Brunson is questionable. I think he plays, but this is just too many points for Utah. Like yes, the Knicks could blow them out, but at plus 13 and a half, I don't think so, guys. I think the Jazz hang tight in this one. I think they keep it within 10 points. The over-under I like as well. I like the over. It's at 229, 228 and a half. I like that a lot, guys. Jazz team total over. And again, the reason why I like this over a lot is because New York is going to come out nonchalant, guys. They just do. They're not going to come out like focused. If they do, they could come out focused, but just their pattern this year, they don't do that. They really, really just, you know, play up and down a competition. So let me see here. Sorry, guys. I want to see this really quickly. Okay. So, yeah, that's what they do. And I think I got a pretty good beat on them. I've got a pretty good beat on the Jazz. And 13 and a half just feels way too many points, guys. Like, I feel like this spread should be closer to like 10. So I get an extra 3 points. It feels right. It feels right. I am going to be betting that for sure, guys, the Utah Jazz today. Okay. Let me see the over-under trend real quick for them. New York's 19 and 14, Utah 17 and 13. So they're both over teams. Okay. Next game up, guys, we have the Dallas Mavericks at the Houston Rockets. And the Houston Rockets, let's check. They got Amen Thompson suspended. Tari Eason looks to be out, I think. Is Tari Eason out? He's questionable. So everyone else is healthy. And I think they've lost 3 in a row. Let me see. Oh, no, just 2 in a row. They've lost 2 games in a row, but they're usually like really, really good at home. So then they've lost 2 home games in a row. And that was on Sunday. So they've had 2 days off to think about it. Like, what I do know is that Houston's going to come out freaking ready to go today. That's what I know. Houston's going to be ready to go. Let's take a look at Dallas. I know Luka's out. Luka Doncic is out for like a month. Kyrie Irving is healthy. Klay Thompson is healthy. PJ Washington is healthy. Najee Marshall is still suspended. Spencer Dinwiddie, Quentin Grimes, Jaden Hardy. Derek Lively is questionable. So, I mean, if Lively's out, I definitely don't like the Mavericks. I already don't like the Mavericks for the spot, even though they've lost. Sorry, guys. Even though they've lost 2 in a row and 3 out of their last 4, I don't think it's a good spot for them. I don't. I think this Houston team is going to be super pissed off today and take care of business. It's not like they've been in awful form either. They just got a really pissed off Miami team last game, and they were winning by like 15 against Minnesota the game before that. They just squandered the lead. So I know Dallas is going to come in and play really, really, really tough, but I like Houston in the spot, guys. Lions -5. I agree with that. I'm probably gonna wait till the Derek Lively news comes out because if Lively's ruled in, I might be able to get a 4. So, but I do like the Rockets to win. And this is just another tip of mine is that NBA spreads and like NBA, yeah, just NBA spreads. If you look at like who wins the games every day, like just look to yesterday, I believe. I think all 6 teams that won covered the spread. And generally there's only 1 or 2 games every day where the team where the favorite wins but does not cover. So if you really like that team to win, more likely and more times than not, they're going to cover the spread, guys. So that is an angle I don't know. I don't know if I forgot. I just wasn't like being cognizant of it, but that's what I'm definitely going to focus on. And I really like Houston to win. So I am going to be focusing on that. Okay, let's see what the over under is. And the other thing that I really like in this game is the Dallas team total under. I'm just a little I'm just a little concerned because I don't know like if Dallas is just not going to play a lot of defense today. And then Houston has like a chance to really put up points sometimes when they want to. So I want to bet Dallas team total under, but I don't know. I mean, they scored 128 against New Orleans, 114 against Charlotte, 114 against Toronto. And I know like Dallas is on their little skid too. Like they've lost 2 in a row as well. Like they're going to try to play hard. And I don't know, guys. I don't know. I lean under the full game unders at 222, but I kind of like Dallas team total under as well. I think that's like a good angle. So, all right, 2 games left, guys. 2 games left. Let's go. Okay, Atlanta Hawks at the Denver Nuggets. These 2 teams played like a couple of weeks ago, and Atlanta lost by 40 or something. They got whooped. Let me see. It was December. Dang, was that far ago? It feels like yesterday almost. Sunday, December 8th, they lost by 30 at home to Denver. So that's definitely going to be on the back of their mind. They're on a 4-game win streak right now. They're in a really good groove. Their next game is at Los Angeles on Friday. So the Hawks are on a little West Coast road trip. Let's see, Trae Young and Dyson Daniels. I think they're both probable. And then Bogdanovich is out. He's doubtful. But Dyson Daniels and Trae Young are probable. For Denver, let's check their injury situation. Just Aaron Gordon's out. Everyone else is healthy and playing. All right, let's take a look. They just beat Detroit and they just beat Utah. So they're winning by margin right now, guys. I mean, and when they win, well, kind of. That was on the road. When they're at home and they win by a good margin, guys. I mean, they're tough. They're tough to beat at Denver. They really are. So I really like them to win. Let me see. Over unders at 246. I mean, it's going to be high just because these 2 teams love to fly up and down the court. Spreads at -5.5. It does feel a little rich, guys. Like I was hoping this line would be more close to 3.5, 4. It does feel a little high. Atlanta has scores to, keep it close, but let's take a deeper look at Atlanta's schedule real quick. Let's just see if we can find an angle here where we're like, hey, this Atlanta team is kind of fraudulent. So they beat Minnesota at home. Okay, let's take a look at the road split. So Toronto, they won. San Antonio, they lost in overtime. They lost to Milwaukee in the NBA Cup. They beat New York at New York, and they are motivated for that game. Okay, they won at Milwaukee. They won at Cleveland. So I don't know. This is kind of their role, guys. This is kind of their role. They lost by 30 last game to Denver. This is their role. It's just they're on a 4-game winning streak. And their last long winning streak was snapped by Denver too. I don't know, guys. I feel like it's too high. The plus 5.5. I do. I like Denver to win, but this might be one of the games where Denver wins but doesn't cover the point spread. That's what I'm thinking. So, but yeah, I can only look over 246. I'm not betting Denver games under, guys. I mean, goodness sakes, the last game was 150. Detroit at home was 150. I mean, they're just flying over, guys. Literally flying over these numbers. Atlanta, they're going over. Like, honestly, I think even though it's at 246, I feel like it almost should be like 250 between these two teams. Okay, let's move on. Last game of the day. We got the Philadelphia 76ers at the Sacramento Kings. KJ Martin is out. Joel Embiid is out. Eric Gordon, Andre Drummond, Kyle Lowry are questionable. And yeah, that's it. So I think they have enough there. I have no clue why Sacramento is a 6.5 point favorite when Paul George, Tyrese Maxey are playing. Let's take a look at the schedule. I know Philly's on a West Coast road trip right now. They've won 4 in a row. They play Golden State Thursday, but that's like no travel at all from Sacramento to Golden State. For Sacramento, I think it's just Keegan Murray is on the injury report. Let's take a look. Whoops. Let's take a look here. Keegan Murray's listed as doubtful. Okay, that's considerable, guys, because he's like their best 3-point shooter. So, and I mean, the point spread's high, guys. I mean, okay, so Sacramento slumped out of their losing streak finally, and they beat Dallas with a whole bunch of backups. They play Friday at home against Memphis, but I can only look Philadelphia plus the points here. I don't trust Sacramento right now to win by margin. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They were lucky to win by margin last game. Over-unders at 224. I like that under a lot. And Philly just controls these games under. They're like Brooklyn, where like they don't let these games get out of control. They really don't. Like, and then Sacramento's not. I don't think they're playing with pace right now. And like they played a lot of tough defense. Like I do lean under this total, guys. Under 224, 223.5. I do like that under. Philly really controls the pace in these games a lot of times. So I do like that. And then I'm probably gonna be betting Philly plus 6.5. I think they're live to win this game. The Kings, like they're still just not all together, guys. They're not. So yeah, that's the show, guys. Follow me on Twitter at Easy Money Wins for all of my official bets, and I will see you on the next show.